It is time to call to order the May 12, 2025 Advisory Planning Commission meeting. If you would, join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll do a roll call. Wayne Burgeon. Here. Marnie Clark.
Here.
Harold Goodlett is not present. Brian Hester.
Here.
Daisy Lucio.
Here.
John Palmer.
Here.
Okay, let the record show that we do have a quorum. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, got a motion. Got a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, aye has it. Now look at the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, got a motion made.
I'll second.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, any public comments? No public comments? Looks like there is no old business to discuss. Moving on to new business. Open discussion about an explanation of the backyard chicken process.
Yeah, the only thing I got for you guys tonight is, we'll discuss how we are handling the major request for all the chickens. I'll give these, this is the thing we'll show you. If you look on here, we'll just pass it out, you go back, past the minutes. You'll see where I have a letter addressing the process for backyard chickens. And what we're doing is we're using a variance instead of an ordinance. That gives us a better leeway in handling on each case, because the variance was handled by the BZA, but when you use a variance, you can add, subtract, do whatever you want to, whereas an ordinance is pretty much whatever is written up is written up. And when it comes to something like chickens, we need to be able to limit how many. Certain areas are going to be smaller yards, bigger yards, so we thought using a variance would be the best way to go about it. So in looking over how some of the other people have handled it, I come up with the variance process, and it's pretty simple. And some people don't like it because you have to jump through the hoops, but if you really want to keep chickens, then you need to jump through some of the hoops. They need to obtain a copy of the use variance application, which you'll see on here. Complete the application. It must be completed entirely. Failure to do so will result in a delay in the application. Return to the office, and then I'll set up a meeting with them. We'll meet and discuss exactly what they're trying to do. To pay the $100 application fee for a variance, and then we'll set up the dates and have the variance hearing. A couple of things that I'd like for anytime this board or the BZA handles something like this, there's some things we need to consider. One is the size of the property. How many chickens we think we have. I've already had a request for 12 chickens, and the backyard is no bigger than this. I went out and looked at it. No roosters. The BZAs, they can say no roosters because that's what causes a lot of problems. The size of the pen, the size of the coop, and I've got 4 foot for every one chicken is something that I recommend, and the pen to run, that's what's the pen, and the distance away from the side yards, things like that. When we grant a variance, we can put that all in variance, but as soon as the variance is approved or disapproved, I always send give a letter to them that states everything that the BZA gave it to them, or when the Planning Commission does it, I state everything that the Planning Commission does. Let's see. Can't see too much of stuff. Oh, yeah, the one conversation I had with the guy is he wanted a lot of chickens, and I asked him, you know, why, and he said when I told him we couldn't, probably, it'll vary, so probably more around 6, and he said, well, he can't make any money that way, so he's wanting to run a business, which we do not want, because then it becomes a mess. And why making them jump through so many hoops is because some people just think you just put a couple little chickens out there, little chicks, and throw them, and raise them, and then let them run all over the place, and then they forget about, their kids have them, then the kids forget about them, and they grow up, and then you got chicken all over the place. So trying to be more, track it more, you know, about permits. So that's just something I want to let you guys know that we're doing. Good thing is the BZA gets to handle that part.
Okay, so they must, present a site plan?
Right, site plan showing where the chicken coop's going, the size. Because we don't want them throwing right up against the fence. Somebody might have a real nice decorative fence and you got a chicken crapping all beside it.
Yeah.
Does the HOA trump anything?
We don't enforce, well, that's the other thing, when you brought that up, that's the other thing I was saying. We don't enforce HOA or deed restrictions, but we can consider them when making a decision. Is that right, Terry?
Yes.
Because we're handling that in another situation, but, yeah, we always strongly consider them because, you know, they signed up when they bought their house, that's what they bought, so. But we can enforce them, but we don't have to let them have chickens either. And I've had quite a few calls asking me that, quite a few emails asking if they've had, the HOA trumps that, I had 2 or 3, so. Hopefully at the pre-hearing.
The answer is no.
Huh?
The answer to that is no.
I can't say no, all I can say is we can consider it. Because if something happens and they say, you know, well, like they do something else that they can't have, like a fence or something, and they say, I'm gonna put it up anyway, and they have it in the HOA, they can't come to us and say, hey, we're not supposed to have fences out here. You guys need to do something about it, we can't enforce it. The only thing they can do is somebody from the HOA has to sue that person in the HOA.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the board would strongly consider if an HOA said no, that he would rather have it. Because they have, on
about the HOA
on the application, it asks if you have an HOA, and
approval.
they have to have an approval letter from the HOA, so. Then you get situations like out in Ashley Springs where you got Bob Lynn on one, who really don't care about much, and then a real HOA on the other one, so. But that's why, that's the one thing I was thinking about when I said, well, the board's gonna be able to consider that anyway.
And no roosters allowed.
No roosters. Now, this doesn't, in agriculture areas, they can still have them. We can't control how many they have or anything like that. We don't have a big agriculture area.
We have an agriculture in Charlestown, city limits.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Tristan.
Christmas is some, the big house out there, the guy used on Dairy Queen,
Sexton.
Sexton, all down through there, a little bit down through, right before you get to Bethany.
Okay.
I got a few questions I want to ask Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna enforce this? If somebody doesn't get the permit and they got chickens,
Code enforcement.
who's enforcing, code enforcement?
Yeah, code enforcement will get it.
And if they do enforce, is there a fine, gonna be a fine, or something? I didn't see anything about that.
No, that'll be set by the BZA. We haven't done that yet. It'd just be a violation of the BZA. The fine would actually be, you rather fix it or you lose your variance.
I guess we're gonna have it in, that'll be in the contract or law.
Right.
So, is there any other cities or towns locally that have converted where we don't have it? Right now, you no chickens in the city.
Right.
Any other local towns that have gone and let us, if they have, what's the outcome?
Jeffersonville and,
So there's quite a few that.
yeah, Jeff,
Yeah.
Clarksville, they all have chickens, but they have to get a license permit per se. but they have it by ordinance. Union City, Indiana, Winslow, I'm trying to think of the one that stole a lot of stuff from. They all use the variance process.
Have you talked to any of them? What is their opinion, building commissioner's opinion? Or are they having problems with it or not? Or that you don't know?
I don't know, never asked them that, I just asked them how they handle it.
And if they do get the thing and they have chickens or, say about a lot of chickens, they got a lot of eggs, they're not supposed to sell them.
That's correct.
But what if they give them away and somebody gives them a donation? There's nothing in there?
That's more of a legal problem.
Okay, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
could be,
I don't think there's really a mechanism by which to enforce it. I mean, I can put somebody on egg patrol, but I don't think you're gonna.
well, I mean, it's just like a person who's contacting, what, 60 or so chickens.
Yeah.
You have 60 chickens, a family's not gonna eat 60 chicken eggs.
Well, that's why I say we limit the number. If you got 6 chickens and you're giving away eggs, hey, bless your heart, because you're
I
giving
mean, that's
too much
good,
to
but they're
somebody.
selling them.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not gonna get as many eggs though out of 6.
no.
I mean, because that's what, my husband's been begging for years for stupid chickens, and he wants 6. He said 6 to 8, and then
Yeah.
it's because he probably eats
Yeah,
24 to 30 eggs a week.
my son-in-law
Himself.
eats that many food.
The other was, what if, was this gonna bring up something where geese and ducks and
No,
others are gonna be,
they
the
can
ones
come
that we
in,
go with the chickens or with,
they come in, they can ask for that, but the problem with geese and ducks is they do make a little bit more noise
And they fly.
and they fly.
Like,
I mean,
The chickens
chickens
need to be
can
limited.
fly pretty good too, really.
Yeah,
You know, clip their
You can
wings.
clip them.
Yep.
Yeah, the geese make pretty good noise like the ones out there off of,
Oh, and Lakeview, Highview, I have all kinds of ducks and geese,
yep.
and they make a mess of the
Yeah,
road,
they're-
my yard.
Yeah.
It's mostly just chickens because this is what everybody's been asking for.
Do you know why the city of Charlestown enacted the code to not have chickens?
No, this ought to be good. Because this is something I never heard before. No what?
I mean, it had to be part of the livestock
Yeah.
thing that was enforced.
Um,
You don't know why they come up with that?
I remember the one, I was on the board when it come up with the one, no chickens, rabbits, ducks, geese, tigers. I was part of the council that did that. I didn't know if anything specific for chickens back then. Might have something to do with when they used to sleep in their chicken coops in here.
Well, I think you also dealt in here with, if they slaughter them.
Right,
it's not
can't slaughter
in
'em.
public. Read that part in there too, which hopefully, when they go out with for Sunday chicken dinner, they don't go out
That's
and
Winslow.
slaughter everybody.
The guy in Winslow, he's the one that told me that, yeah, because you got one guy that, what do they call him, he dresses them for him. He just sits out there and just, so I said, yeah, he said, I suggest you do like we did, put something where you can't slaughter them, do them in their garage or something, but, yeah.
Do you foresee it being a problem with the code enforcement?
No, I don't really, because I think the $100 and then everything they have to do is gonna cut down on a lot of the, people that just think they just throw some chickens out there. And at first, we'll probably have a lot of variance requests at first until they kinda get cut down. I expect most of them will be stopped when they come up and start talking to me and I start telling them, hey, we're gonna watch this, you gotta have this and this and this. And whatever else the BZA has for you. Because like I said, all I can do is recommend to the BZA what to look at, give them an outline. And,
I do think you're gonna have problems with the roosters.
yeah, we have a problem with roosters, yeah.
When somebody buys a bunch of baby chicks,
They don't know what they
they
got.
don't know what they've got. And it's gonna be hard to tell them, what are you gonna do with that rooster, throw it out,
Get rid of it, yeah. Take it to a farm. Chased a lot of roosters in my lifetime in Charleston.
I guess if, maybe you've got somebody that'll adopt them.
Yeah, I could probably, I know a couple, that do it, Adams will do it. We've taken them to him before, a lot of them take them. So.
The fee, the $100 fee, is that submitting after the hearing? or after your
No,
call?
it's right after I meet with them, that's the cost of asking for a variance.
Okay,
So,
At the
after I
time.
meet with them, cause I don't wanna spend $100 and then say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't plan on doing
Okay.
that. So after I meet with them, they decide that's what they wanna do.
get it. Okay, any other discussion on this?
Who's gonna handle, you said the state, all state and county health rules and regulations must be mandated. Who's gonna take over that, like the waste? Are you, anybody gonna watch them? Because I'm telling you, people,
I know, we'll get complaints from the neighbors when the waste is bad.
because I know people's not gonna just dispose of it the way you've got it listed in here. You know.
We're just gonna have to watch them. It's like anything else, just have to keep an eye on them. But like I said, there's so many cities going to the chickens. I understand it, but, you know,
Well, my view on it is, especially with the, the inflation we've had, I think people should, of course, it's gotta be regulated. You know, you can't have chickens running around everywhere, like you said, neighbors, fighting neighbors because of it. But I think people should have a right to have chickens, and to get those eggs and to feed their family or what,
and if we did it by ordinance, we'd be doing code enforcement on it anyway. This way, we can lay it out a little bit better.
yeah. Yeah, there's people I know right now in the city has chickens. We got an ordinance prohibiting chickens.
Yeah, I
And,
know.
so we already have it.
Got a couple.
Yeah, so we already have it. And I know people that want chickens that wants to do it legally, follow the ordinance.
That's what I've had a lot of, like I said, I've had a lot of emails, I don't know how many we've had. That first day is just all day, and, most of them wanted to do it legal. Most of them only want 3 or 4,
Mhm.
so.
Yep.
Just wanna let the board know how I suggested that we handle it this way.
Okay. Anything from us tonight, or?
Nope.
All right, any other discussion, any other, business? All right, no other, business. I guess we will, adjourn. I get a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion made, second.
I'll second it.
All right, second. We are adjourned. Thank you.